Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to go over another question on Codeforces, that is Philomeno 2. Let's quickly go over the problem statement. Philomeno is a classic logic puzzle and you don't need to know Philomeno in order to solve this problem. Okay, in a classroom of Town. Okay, some volunteers are playing the board game variant of it. Now consider an n by n chessboard. Its rows are numbered from 1 to n from top to bottom, and its columns are also numbered from 1 to n from left to right. A cell is an intersection of x row and yth column and is denoted by xy. The main diagonal on the chessboard is the cells xx for all valid x from 1 to n. A permutation of 1 to n is written on the main diagonal of the chessboard. There is exactly one number written on each of the cells. The problem is to partition the cells under and on the main diagonal into n connected regions satisfying the following constraints. Now they have mentioned 4 additional constraints. Let's go over them one by one. Every region should be connected. That means that we can move from any cell of a region to any other cell of the same region, visiting only cells of the same region and moving from a cell to an adjacent cell. The X region should contain cells on the main diagonal with the number x on x for all x that is between 1 to n, and the number of cells that belong to X region should be equal to x for all x between 1 to n. Finally, each cell under and on the main diagonal should belong to exactly one region. Now I hope the problem statement was somewhat clear enough. I know these conditions are a little difficult to understand, but we'll try to simplify it on the whiteboard. Now for the input, the first line will contain n, that is the size of the chessboard, and the second line will contain the permutations from p1 to pn. For output, they are asking us to print -1 if it is not possible to satisfy all the 4 conditions. Else we must print n lines, that is a triangular matrix format. The ith line should contain I numbers, that is line 1 should contain 1 number, line 3 should contain 3 numbers. The jth number on the ith line should be x cell ij belonging to the region with x cells. So let's try to simplify it on the whiteboard. Now considering an example, the permutation is 3, 2 and 1. Now according to the original condition, we'll try to move this permutation on the diagonal. Now there is some additional before additional concept, I'll explain why we have not considered these 3 positions. As they have already mentioned here, the problem is to partition cells under and on the main diagonal. So it's asking this is the main diagonal and this is under part of the main diagonal. So we did not consider this part of the matrix. So we are simply erasing it and not considering that part. We are only concerned with this part of the matrix. Additionally, they have also mentioned the concept of regions and connected cells. Now let us try to understand it with the help of another example. In this example, consider a permutation of size 4, but we'll only for now consider a single cell, that is 2, in order to simplify it more easily. Okay, so if 2 lies on the diagonal of this structure, then it means that 2 forms a region. And in 2's region, they have mentioned that there must be in total of 2 elements or 2 cells, and those 2 cells must be connected to each other. So let me take another cell. So these are 2 cells and these 2 cells must be connected to each other. By connected, I mean that they must be directly connected either either vertically or horizontally. So 2 can lie over here or 2 can lie over here, and this will form a valid region. But 2 cannot be placed in the diagonal position, as it will not be a valid So I hope it is somewhat clear. Now let's try to understand with another example, that is 3. So if 3 lies, 3 forms a region of size 3, and all the 3 so size 3. So let's take 3 elements, the first element and the second element. Now these 2 elements must be directly connected to each other, and by directly connected I mean that they must be either directly connected horizontally or vertically. So this forms a valid region, as well as this will form a valid region, and this will also form a valid region. Now how to place this, which structure to choose, we'll try to say it in another example, but for now let's try to understand what is connected components. And I hope it is clear what I mean by connected components and a valid region. So this forms a valid region. This is not a valid region, as this component and this component are not directly connected either horizontally or vertically. So now let's go back to our original problem. So now here, in order to solve this problem, we'll try to use a strategy, that is, first we'll go on the left side of the, we'll start with the first element and we'll first try to move on the left side. If it is not valid or if it is already occupied, we'll place the element on the bottom, that is below the element. What I mean by this, I'll explain it by doing this. So for 3, there must be 3 in total of 3 cells with the same value of 3 in order to form a region. So let's take 3. Now this 3 cannot be placed here as this is not a valid position, so we'll place 3 in the bottom. Now we need one more element, so let's take one more. Again, this cannot be placed on the left, so we'll simply put it to the below 3. Now this forms a valid region with the element with 3 cells and each having the same value. So 3 is now complete. Now let's come to 2. Now for 2, in order for 2 to create a region, it must need one more 2, and this 2 cannot be placed here as 3 is already occupied in this position, so we'll place 2 on the below position. Okay, so for 2, again 2's region is complete with the 2 elements with the same value. Now let us move to 1. Now for 1, as you might have already noticed, this is already a valid region with 1 component, so we do not need to tamper 1 any further, and this will be our approach for the permutation of 3, 2 and 1. Let's try to take another example. Let's say 2, 3 and 1. So 2, 3 and 1, and let me delete all the other elements. So now going to our approach, first we'll place 2 on the first position. Now 2 need one more element for it to form a complete region, so we'll take one more 2, and as I discussed earlier, we'll first try to place 2 on the left. Now as it is not a valid position, we'll place 2 below, so this will form a region. Now next we'll come to 3. Now for 3, we need additionally 2 elements with the same value of 3. So first I'll try to put 3 here, but 2 is already occupying the position, so I'll put 3 below it. So this is a valid connection. Now I need one more 3, so I'll take this 3 and I put it on the left of the current, and as it is empty, I can easily put it. So this will again form a correct region with 3 elements. So 3 is also complete. Now for the final element 1, I'll place it here. Now 1 need not be processed any further because it is already a complete region. So this is how we'll solve the problem. I hope it is clear enough. Now let us try to have a look at the code. So here is the code. So first here I am taking in the input n, that is the size of the matrix and size of the matrix or the size of the board, and then I am taking in the I am initializing a matrix of size n plus 1. Why n plus 1? Because I am using 1 based indexing, so plus 1, and I am after initializing I am declaring a matrix here with size of n plus 1 cross n plus 1, and I am initializing the matrix with minus 1. Okay, now I am looping in for all the elements starting from 1 to n, and I am taking in the input. So first I'll take the input as 2, then 3 and then 1. So starting with 2, I have used another loop which will iterate from 1 to 2 times. That is, for 2 it will iterate 2 times. For 3 it will iterate 3 times, and for 1 it will only iterate 1 time. Okay, so this is what this loop is doing, and with every iteration it will place an element to a subsequent position starting with the diagonal position. Okay, and then I'll check on the left side, and then I'll check on the right below or like the bottom side of the current placed element. That is these two conditions that I've mentioned over here. And after placing all these elements, it is simply exiting, and here I am simply printing all the elements in the matrix in the triangular format. Now let's take an example of size 3, and the elements are 2, 3 and 1. That is, I believe, our sample input 2, 3 and 1. And let's try to run our code. So yeah, it ran, and the output is as same as the output defined here, and also the output that we got over here. Let's try with another example, that is 5 with 5 elements, or the permutation of size 5. And again, I believe it will give the same output. Yes, the output is exactly matching the output that is defined here. So these two conditions are passing. Also, I've already submitted the same code, and it is also accepted. So our solution is correct as it works. So this was all for the video. I hope you understood and liked the content. Thank you for watching.